What's up, Patriots Nation? I'm Alexi Iafrato here with Patriots beat writer Kevin Duffy. We're here at Gillette Stadium to bring you the top 3 things you need to know heading into training camp tomorrow, so let's get to it. First things first, Brady's weapons, or lack thereof. There's a lot going on. This is the first time in 10 years that the Patriots are going into a season without Rob Gronkowski, so that's going to be a big change. And on top of it, Brady's arsenal is deflating fast. We have Sony Michel and Demaryius Thomas, who are on PUP. We have Josh Gordon, who's suspended indefinitely. And we have Brady's top guy, Julian Edelman, out for the next couple of weeks with a thumb injury. So who do you think is going to step up throughout training camp and the rest of the preseason and fill those voids?
Yeah, that's really what everyone's going to be watching, I think, the first couple of weeks of training camp, especially when Edelman's out. And, okay, it's not good when one of your best players is not participating in practice, but it gives other guys the opportunity. They know what they have in Julian Edelman. It's not like a knee injury or an ankle, something that could be bothersome throughout the season. So it's really not that big of a deal that he's not going to be out there. We're going to be looking at Phillip Dorsett, N'Keal Harry, and Maurice Harris, I think, as the top 3 receivers going into training camp. And that might sound kind of scary on paper because those guys really don't have collectively much NFL success. Phillip Dorsett has been a solid player. I think that his teammates, his coaches really respect his work ethic. They like him. But he's only proven things in flashes in New England. He hasn't really been consistent. This is a big summer for him. He's got to put it all together. I think he came into the league as a guy with great straight line speed. Last year he showed the ability to run some of those intermediate underneath routes. But he wasn't really a game breaker. He didn't do anything after the catch. So I think he's got to put both those skill sets together. And maybe he can, and he can become that number 2 that they're looking for. And
that they need.
And then N'Keal Harry, big body, can make contested catches. There's a lot of potential there. There's a reason why they took him in the first round. You watched him in spring practice, and I think he's a rookie. His timing, his precision was not quite there. There were times when Brady couldn't even complete passes to him on air with no defense on the field. So he's got to clean that up, but that's what the whole summer is for. And I think that it's going to be a work in progress. There's probably going to be some days where we say the passing game didn't look great, but they've got a lot of time to put into it, and I think they have a collection of players. They have like 9 or 10 guys there as receivers. They just need a few of them to emerge.
And then another Brady-related issue, his blindside protection. I mean, we have Isaiah Wynn, but he's recovering from an Achilles tear, so we don't know how well he's going to be able to perform or if he's going to be able to recover quick enough. What other guys do they have in their back pocket? I mean, they are coming off a season where they had Trent Brown, who was like a wall. He proved to be one of their most indispensable players last year. What other guys are going to be able to step up and fill that role if Isaiah Wynn isn't active?
Well, Isaiah Wynn's the projected starter at left tackle, and he didn't play at all. Tore his Achilles in the preseason last year, so that's an injury that could take a guy over a year to recover from. The positive sign is he's not on the PUP list, so that's promising, but we have to see him out there actually participating in team drills. In the spring, when he was out there, he just came off to the side and watched whenever they did some team drills, and Joe Thuney took the reps at left tackle. Joe Thuney's been an Iron Man, played every snap for the Patriots at left guard last year. He came into the league as he was a left tackle in college, and so when the Patriots drafted him, there was some uncertainty as to whether he played guard or tackle. They've always viewed him as a guard, but I think they loved his versatility when they picked him, and they knew that in a pinch, which is what they're in now, that they probably could move Joe Thuney out there and be okay. So that's, aside from the receivers, that's probably the biggest storyline going into camp is where's Isaiah Wynn in his recovery, and is Joe Thuney really going to be a left tackle potentially during the games this year?
And especially with Tom Brady's age, he's going to be 42 in August. You're coming with, Trent Brown and Gronk also doing a lot of the blocking for him so he can get the ball out there. His age is going to play a big factor too. So having that really strong core at left tackle is going to be imperative for him, I think.
Yeah, he's always had that. There's never really been much uncertainty. He had Matt Wright, he had Nate Solder, and then they got really, the 1-year thing with Trent Brown, I think they knew all along it was going to be a rental, because if Trent Brown played well enough, he was going to outprice whatever the Patriots were willing to pay for him, and that's exactly what happened. So that worked out brilliantly. He was the perfect stopgap, but they drafted Isaiah Wynn in the first round to be that long-term tackle, and the injury might change things for him. And we'll just have to see what he looks like.
We'll just see how it all plays out. But moving to the defensive side of the ball, the Patriots are pretty locked and loaded. They're heading into the preseason probably the strongest we've seen in a while. Do you think that the guys that they have at that level and that talent pool are going to elevate them to the next level? You actually said something really interesting in one of your articles, and
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome, that the Patriots defense has this kind of like slow and steady wins the race attitude, that they come out of the gate slow and then they slowly but surely grow stronger. And I mean, it's worked out for them in the past, but they have a lot of conference games right off the bat that they could really prove that they could come out stronger than they ever have before.
Yeah, the book on the Patriots defense, for anyone who's followed the team for especially the last like 5 years, September is usually kind of shaky, and there's those games where Carolina scores 36 points and Houston scores 33, and Alex Smith torches them for 42.
Yep.
People are wondering if this is a subpar defense, and they get a lot of criticism, and they slowly get better in October, November, and then come December, they're a Super Bowl caliber unit.
Yep.
I think this year, because of what they have returning, especially a linebacker in the secondary, they're in position to be a dominant defense from the beginning.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of that is their personnel. Some of it's the schedule too. As you said, they play weeks 2 through 4. They're playing the Dolphins, Jets, and Bills. They should win all those games pretty easily. Those are some pretty weak teams.
They should.
So I think this is the Patriots defense has been very good in past years, but this group, I think, has the chance to just be kind of like a menacing, like lockdown type
Absolutely.
unit. They don't have great pass rushers up front, but they have tremendous linebackers, and they can deploy those guys creatively. Dante Hightower, Collins, Kyle Van Noy, to generate some pressure and make up for what they might lack at defensive end per se. And in the secondary, they have the best cornerback in football, and they're loaded.
Absolutely.
They're loaded across the board. So I don't see any reason why this can't be one of the league's best defenses from week 1.
Absolutely. I mean, the only game that they should win that they may not win is the Dolphins, which has always blown my mind. They should absolutely beat the Dolphins, but every time they go to Miami, it's like something bad happens. I don't know if they're cursed or what it is, but we'll see. Guess we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
I think it all sets up well for them. So, defense, it's hard to, we'll be probably writing a lot about offense and talking about offense the first couple of days of training camp.
Absolutely.
Once the pads go on, when they get to Detroit, when they get to Nashville and they do those joint practices, that's when we'll really find out about the defense.